This channel supports Extra Life in its efforts to raise money for the Children's Miracle Network. For more information about how to donate and join in their efforts, go to the link displayed here. Extra Life. Play games, heal kids. What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and just doing a brief review of the pay-per-view. Normally we would be doing the Sharpshooting podcast, but because of personal issues on people's, everybody have schedule conflicts, personal things going on, we've kind of had to put Sharpshooting on hiatus. I apologize to everybody who enjoyed the show, but we will try to get this back on track as soon as possible, trust me. Anyway, moving forward, so Battleground went down, and I must say I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed some of the matches. Some of the matches I did not foresee myself actually enjoying, but I actually did. In particular, the Sheamus and Randy Orton match. I thought that was actually a pretty good match. It was a matchup that I was like, this is one of those manufactured for pay-per-view type of rivalries that WWE likes to do a lot. No real build, just a quick, hey, I hate you, hey, I hate you, let's fight type of thing. But it worked out pretty well. It's funny because the RKO at the end it wasn't one of his better ones, but it was still a cool match overall. Sheamus showed his stuff. I mean, they're doing a good job of building Sheamus as this like crazy strong heel. Randy, of course, he was going to be over because he was at home. I mean, we didn't think Randy Orton was going to lose, did we? That would have been pretty interesting if he did. But yeah, Randy went over at home, and it was a pretty decent match. The other match that I would say that I was kind of surprised at would be the RTruth Wade Barrett match. It wasn't that bad a match. See, my thing is, I don't have a huge issue with RTruth as a wrestler. I think he's still got it. I think Ron Killen still has his skill level, and I think Wade Barrett has come along pretty nicely. They've been able to, give him better footing than they've ever had since the Nexus days. That being said, people know me. I don't like RTruth's gimmick. Him doing the whole song, the whoop, there it is, all that stuff. It's like, okay, we kind of tired of that, but they put on a pretty decent match. It wasn't that bad. Now, moving forward to matches that I had more of an expectation of. The Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, I didn't expect it to be a bad match. I expected it to be a good back and forth struggle and things like that. My biggest problem with that match would be, of course, the ending. I pretty much expected Reigns to go over on Bray, and I wanted Bray to win because it would be nice to see Bray actually win these pay-per-view matches, and he did win. Problem is, he didn't win flat out, and that was a problem for me. It was good to see Luke Harper come back and them, let us know, hey, the Wyatt family's getting back together. I'm sure as soon as Eric Rowan is healthy, we're going to have another run of the Wyatt family, which they should have never probably broken up when they did in the first place. I always thought that the Wyatt family should have got a good run with Rowan and Harper getting tag team titles and having a run, and Bray getting a singles title while they were together. They were a good faction. They need to be built a lot better, but of course, WWE seems to have this thing with Bray Wyatt that he is just going to be that guy to put on great matches to get other people more over. It really bothers me. I hate that because he puts on tremendous matches. He works very, very well. His character's over. They just don't give him wins and build him strong in the ring. And I felt like this was a missed opportunity where they could have had him beat Reigns flat out and made him look a lot stronger, especially since you got this guy calling himself the new face of fear. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but you know, cool. It was a cool match. The Divas match. I know I'm skipping around, by the way, but I just wanted to point out the Divas match, which I don't think was originally on the card, but I think was put on the card because of the injury to Ryback, because the Ryback Intercontinental Triple Threat match didn't happen with him, The Miz, and was it the Big Show in it? I forget. Yeah, I think it was the Big Show, because they had a spot where they had The Miz come out and he was talking trash, and then the Big Show comes out and knocks him out. Like, okay, you had your comedic spot. Miz got his pay-per-view time. Whatever. I didn't want to see that match anyway, so I was glad it was gone, but I'm glad we got to see the Divas do the triple threat. They let Charlotte and Sasha Banks kind of work. I mean, it wasn't one of their, like, tear down the houses NXT type matches, but it was a good match. It was a solid Divas match where we saw the Divas work. Nikki was going to be in it, but she put Brie in it, which was probably for the best, because Brie is a much better worker than Nikki, much better. So it kind of flowed a lot better, and we got to see some really good moments, and we got to see a decent length Divas match at that. Imagine that, a Divas match that didn't just go over in 5 minutes. That was a good sign. I'm glad that they have this angle where Stephanie wants to push the Divas, and they've brought these girls up. Hopefully we'll be seeing more come up in the near future, because the NXT Divas are fucking awesome. They wrestle. They put on great shows. WWE Divas, not so much. It's more about connecting things to the TV show and just having these really pretty girls around. It's like, no, we want to see these girls wrestle. That was what made the Divas compelling back in the 90s and the early aughts. You know, we were amazed by their skill level. You know, it wasn't just like, oh wow, she's hot. It was like, yo, this chick can go. That was what got us really into it. It was the fact that they're attractive, I guess, is the bonus for some people. But for wrestling fans, we were just happy to see quality wrestling matches by these girls, and see like people like Lita and Trish Stratus, Victoria and all that do crazy, amazing things in the ring. So now we're getting to that point where we're about to see these girls do crazy, amazing things in the ring again. And I'm very, very happy and excited to see that, because now people like, Tamina, who aren't considered the most attractive women in the world, but great wrestlers, will now be able to be featured. Like, now would have been the time for them to bring somebody like Awesome Kong, who didn't fit the quote-unquote Divas mold, because she's a hell of a wrestler. And if you're going to get back to like having the Divas division be about wrestling, then she would work better now instead of back when they did bring her in as Karma and ruin that whole run. But I digress. Just glad to see that we're going to get better, hopefully better Diva matches, and let's pray that WWE doesn't fuck this up. You had the tag team titles. That was a really good match. Like the fact that they have the primetime players go over. I'm glad they're giving these like tag teams that aren't the Usos a little bit of a run. I think it helps create parity. I think, if they would have dropped it right back to the New Day and just had them like hold it, I don't know how well that would have been. It gives them something to look forward to, because now it's like, yo, once Tyson Kidd gets healthy, if he gets back with Cesaro, hey, they still got a bone to pick and they want to get their belts back. The Usos, they're in the fight once they're totally healthy. If you can give, the Lucha Dragons sort of a build, they can get in the fight. Maybe the Ascension gets a little build. Like, make the tag team division much more competitive and interesting to watch. That's why I'm glad that they left it with the primetime players, because they could continue to like have some type of challenge. They can have contenders come up and build them up too, and then once you take the belts off them, they'll be established in the ranks. they may can get some individual run as well. You got to build these people. You know, bring the Wyatts into the mix when Eric Rowan's healthy. I want to see the tag team division the way it was, where it wasn't just a sideshow. I want it to matter again, and hopefully what's happening now is a step towards that, making the tag teams really matter again, because titles should matter in the WWE. John Cena, Kevin Owens, phenomenal match until the end. I was really enjoying the back and forth, the craziness. Like, these guys were just all out warring. I just didn't dig the fact that after Kevin Owens took so much from Cena and they were just like brutalizing everybody, that all of a sudden Cena got the STF and tapped him out. I hate that they have to make Cena go over on this guy by tapping him out. I feel like they should have had Cena just have to destroy the hell out of Kevin Owens to beat him. Like, just hit him with 2 more AAs to finally put him away. You know, the tap out, I wasn't happy with that. I just wasn't happy with it. I thought that it flattened the match at the end. But take that away, tremendous match. I mean, you can't say that it's a bad match because of that ending. I just thought it was a bad finish, and that was it. But the match overall, phenomenal for me. Loved it. But hey, Super Cena prevails as always. The championship match, man, I don't think any of us were looking for that to happen. That caught us, I think, all off guard in a very pleasant way. So we were kind of expecting to see Brock destroy Seth, and we got that. Seth got a little bit of offense in and tried to get in, but once Brock was able to take the upper hand, Suplex City, bitch. Suplex. I think he only ended up getting 13 in that match, but fuck, it was great to see. And Paul Heyman on the outside, just like, yo, he was killing it as always. He's just sitting there counting. And he was like, I told you this is going to happen. You've been a naughty boy. He was just fucking with Seth Rollins. It was great. Seth Rollins was just about to get melted. And then all of a sudden, lights go out. And you hear it. You hear the gong goes off. And as soon as the gong went off, you could collectively hear the breath just leave the entire arena's lungs. And I swear to God, I could hear my own as well. It was the, oh my fucking God moment. And I marked out. I can't lie. I marked the fuck out. I was saying that to somebody else on Twitter. I was just like, wow. Are you kidding me? He's back. And then the lights come up. Brock staring right at the Undertaker. And I'm like, this is fucking perfect. Because we didn't, really get closure to this thing, because there's actually an open story with these two. Remember, Brock is the one in 21-1. Undertaker did compete again in WrestleMania, but we only saw him there. We probably weren't expecting to see Undertaker for the rest of the year. Undertaker appears and you just knew, it's like, yo, he wants his one back. And he definitely got some retribution against Brock, because he fucking destroyed Brock, and that was great. And it sets up a phenomenal match for possibly SummerSlam, but they could actually save this and milk this all the way back to WrestleMania if they want. I don't think they're going to do that, but it's probably likely that's what they're going to do. In any event, having the Undertaker come back to put Brock on notice, yo, I haven't forgot, motherfucker, was fucking brilliant. You know, he tombstoned the hell out of him. Because, remember, Brock is the only one to take him out in WrestleMania. And the Undertaker, nah, that's not, nope. He's not going to let that sit. And I'm glad that they, brought him back. He looks in good shape. You know, he did the damn thing. This is going to be huge. If this is a SummerSlam match, this is the main event. It's actually probably the main event of SummerSlam. because I can't think of anything they could do with Seth Rollins to top Brock versus Undertaker. I would be curious to see what they're gonna do with this. Like, is Undertaker gonna get revenge, or is Brock gonna go over on him again and prove, like, yo, I am that fucking beast. Don't doubt me. I am the motherfucker who you guys should be worried about, because I not only beat the Undertaker once at WrestleMania, but I just did it again here at SummerSlam to prove that it wasn't no fluke. You know, so it's gonna be compelling. It's gonna be great. I can't wait to see it. Great ending to it. It did a couple of things. One, it protected Seth and Brock, because if Seth beats Brock, then that kind of taints the he's the beast type of thing, and that skyrockets Seth. It skyrockets Seth a little bit, but I think it's better that you don't, because they're gonna have Seth lose probably to one of the Shield people. He's gonna drop that title to one of them. So it's like, okay, you beat Brock and then you go on the downward spiral like that. I don't know. So that protects Seth from that scenario. Protects Brock from losing to Seth. That protects Brock. That's protecting Brock and Seth in that scenario. For Seth loses. It's like, yeah, you did just steal the title. You really couldn't, like, win the title on your own. Now you're like, it would set up an interesting scenario with the whole authority thing, because he shitted on them after they got hurt protecting him. Now they could get their retribution, but it also doesn't put him out there as just like, oh, dude, you clearly can't win when it comes to the big match, because remember, he couldn't beat Brock in a match before. You know what I mean? So this is like, yeah, you really can't beat the top dogs unless you, like, cheat your way to it. You can't win. It will continue that Seth can't win any big matches unless he cheats, type of thing. So it keeps that out of the loop and lets him go to wherever they want to take him with the belt for a little longer. If they want to keep it on him until WrestleMania or something like that, they can, because Brock now has another focus and a rivalry that I think a lot of us is going to want to see a lot more now, because a lot of us still don't sit right with the Undertaker losing at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? So they've protected these guys. They kept us from having to go through, like, well, the what ifs of their result, the result of their matches, and it actually adds more drama to the mix with the Undertaker being back. So I can't wait to see what they're gonna do now. WWE is trying to do some stuff right. I'm very glad at that. But anyway, I said this was gonna be short, and it is kind of short considering it was a 3-hour pay-per-view. I only took 18 minutes to review it. But anyway, you guys hit me up, let me know what you think, and I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Makers, and I'm out. Deuces.